So, the 2015 Great North Run. No. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So yeah, that intro pretty much summed up my 2015 Great North Run. So this is a continuation from the previous video, which was from the 2014 Great North Run, which was my first Great North Run. So I decided to do it the year after, and I got in perfectly fine. And yeah, it was just like, if I'm honest with you, it was just a shower of if I'm in terms of training and preparation, it was flawless. Nothing could have went wrong. I felt fine. I felt great. I felt in good nick. It was just on the day, everything that could have went wrong did in terms of me and overthinking things. So again, like the year before, I went to go and see the City Games. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the pasta party. Went home, had some more pasta, chilled out a little bit, and then just went to bed normally. Slept in actually, well, didn't so much sleep in, but I got 8 hours sleep, which stark contrast from what I did before. And yeah, it was just a completely different mindset, and it was positive in it, if I'm going to be honest with you. So on the day, apparently the metros are really, really bad, and I was trying to arrange to meet up with my friends who were running the Great North Run at the same time, just to travel with them and just, take my mind off things, have a bit of banter, and just and enjoy it. But that wasn't going to be the case. The metros were running like on a delayed service. There was like a metro coming every, I think, 15 minutes or something like that, which normally it was every 5 or normally sometimes 10 minutes. There was disruptions, which was a bit poor, but yeah, getting on the metro was harder than it was the year before. I had to wait for like 4 or 5 metros before I actually got onto a carriage, and by then it was pretty much face against the glass stuff, which you have to expect, but it's not ideal prep, especially for first timers who may have been panicking, who weren't going to get the course on time or get to the pen on time. I mean, there was a guy who asked how long the last metro was, and I couldn't give him an answer. He went, "Well, screw this, I'm going to go run to the start line." I very nearly followed him. So yeah, got to the pen, wasn't phased. Everything was just, experience. I knew what I was doing this time. Got to my pen, it was empty. So I took full advantage, warmed up, got some drills in there, kept hydrated, kept under the cover of the big screen that was in my pen because the sun was rising and the temperature was getting hotter and hotter. And when you looked, there wasn't a cloud in the sky, which was not a great thing in terms of like long distance running. Ideally, it needs to be a bit cloudy, a bit cool. If there's rain there, added bonus just to cool things down. But overall, it was a hot one, and it was going to be hotter than the year before, which I found out later in the race. So we set off. I set my Garmin away, which I had this time. So I had a good indication of where I would be in terms of miles. Same old, didn't get caught up this time, just smiled, enjoyed it. Opened the first mile, I think it was about 8 minutes, which was fine, nice and steady. Got to see the red arrows fly over the Tyne Bridge this time, which was pretty cool. So I finally got to relive one of the key moments there for the Great North Run. Got to mile 3 and seen Emma and the family and friends at the little bridge. We arranged prior to that they shouldn't come through to Shields because the year before they got caught in the metro traffic and it took them over an hour to get to me. So I was quite lucky that they found me when they did. So I didn't want to put them through that again. So I just said, come see us at the bridge and then either go home or stay around until I get back. And that was a lot easier. So I got to mile 3, seeing the guys and giving the old Daniel Bryant of the yes, yes, yes chance. So that was a good morale boost. And it's one of my favourite pictures of all time, me doing that and having people surround me, looking at me, thinking I'm a complete idiot. So I get the first water station, take a bottle, use one bottle to douse and drink out of, sipping, not gulping, sipping, and chucked it and kept it just in case. And then I didn't feel right. Something wasn't feeling right. I don't know if it was the sun or if I was overthinking things. And I took on board a Lucozade. Why I did that, I have no idea. I never used Lucozade during a run, so why am I doing it now? I couldn't tell you, but the heat was getting ridiculous at this point. So I had a bit of a Lucozade and I chucked it. Fine until a 10k. This is where the heat picked up massively. It would have been about almost an hour into the run. And I felt fine, but something was nagging at the back of my head and it was like a heads up sort of, and I tried to block it out and I did so right until about the start of the John Reed Road. The John Reed Road at this point was baking and people were dropping. Like, I mean, literally they were hitting the floor, like they were collapsing because of the heat. And that put me off because it freaked me out and I wanted to help, but I couldn't. I was just being selfish, and I just carried on running, and that messed with me a little bit. So I run through the showers at John Reed Road, and I'm plodding along, and I'm trying to knock it back, because I know that if I run any quicker, I'm going to burn out, and I could do some damage here. Finally saw my dad and my family at the roundabout, give them a sweaty hug and kiss, and off I went, and I felt good about that. I finally got to close that book from the year before. As you know, last year, like I said, I stood for about a minute and a half looking for everyone, and it put me off a little bit. So I got to close that book and finally find the guys there and got my picture taken. So I went past them, took on board a slice of orange, which I could have done. It was perfect. Then I started doing stupid little things that I shouldn't have, but my brain was telling me to do so. I was panicking a little bit because the heat was freaking us out and it was tiring me out. So rather than try and take on water and a little bit of Lucozade, I started taking jellies, Haribos, more fruit, juices. I was just, anything that people were offering, I was taking it. And I shouldn't have, and it was so reckless of me to do so, but I was panicking. I let this dictate everything else. So I get to mile 10 at the Nuke and I stop. And I'm walking and I'm furious. This is where things go downhill for me for this part of the Great North Run. I'm looking at my watch. I go from 8.5 right up to a 9.5 minute per mile, and I'm furious. Luckily, Sarah, an old schoolmate of mine, and her mum were there, and I was a bit grumpy, so I do apologise. I took some fruit, got some water, and they asked if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Tried to brush it off, and off I went again. The instinct that was playing on my mind, that I stopped, so that was it. I ran a bit further, got to the penultimate bank before the Marsden drop, and I stopped again. And I don't know why. I don't know why this time. My legs were the shot. I don't know at this point. I just stopped. And I was swearing at this point. Swearing. I was so angry. This is where I probably burned energy that I could have done with for the last mile. So anyways, I get to the Marsden bank, and I come off it, and I hear, Michael, Michael, Michael. And I'm looking, and I see my mum and the rest of my mum's family on the hill. And this is where I get a bit emotional, because I'm yelling at my mum, I'm struggling, it's hard. And in true mother fashion, man, I'm just tearing up thinking about it. In true mother fashion, she says, just get on with it, get a move on, you're nearly there, just get on with it. So I try, so I'm like, right, okay, if my mum says I can do it, I can finish it. So I get, I'm going. And I get halfway there, and I stop again. And this time, I'm done. I am ready to just sit down and just fire expletives and swear at myself and just sit and spit me dummy out. But two guys who I've not seen since, I've never met in my entire life, seen the name on my prostate cancer vest, and they shouted, come on, Michael, you're close, get a move on, you're nearly there, come on, get off your arse and get a move on. But they, chucking a few F's and S's and C's if you want in there. They really went for it, and it worked. Tough love is the best thing I need for motivation. So I get up and I go. No slow motion this time, it's just get through everyone and just put everything I have left onto the grass and just throw myself across the line. I did so. And then, good grief, I clocked myself at 1:55, which was a 4-minute PB somehow. But when I got to my mum's house, after walking from the charity tent to my mum's house, I was raging with myself. I was sitting there, spitting fire, thinking I could have been a 1:40. Why was the weather? Why did I run? It was just a big ball of emotional chaos and wreckage. And I overthought it. And the minute I got to my mum's house and had a shower and something to eat there, right through until I got home and had a pizza and beer at Gateshead, I was just spitting feathers. I was a mess and I was tired. So after that, I had a couple of days to let it stew over. But what I learned collectively was that you have to be prepared no matter what the elements are. So if it's sunshine and heat, forget a personal best. Forget it. Just run and get through safely. Enjoy the occasion. Try and laugh as much as you can throughout the race. Even if you're walking and laughing, you know, try and keep in good spirits. So that's my advice. So I learned a lot from 2015. It's a shame I couldn't apply it for this year, but next year, hopefully, I'll be a different athlete, and I'm hoping that I'll be fitter, mentally stronger, able to handle whatever elements are getting thrown in my face. So the last 2 runs I did, they were hot, stinking hot. And hopefully it'll be a bit cooler this year and the year after. The t-shirts were pretty cool as well. I mean, I'm wearing it. The thing is, I get these t-shirts, but I never really wear them until like 2 or 3 days from the Great North Run, then they go in the cupboard. Do you do that as well? I mean, do you wear the t-shirt showing off proudly that you ran the Great North Run, then just put it in the cupboard and forget that's ever happened? Yeah, that's for the 2 races that I've done for the Great North Run, this one and the year before, and also the 10k. I should be wearing it proudly. I think I've worn my blade in race more than I have with this one. So yeah, that's the video done. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it if you did. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.